Anthony Albanese has been in the lodge 2.5 years and he's already run out of gas. A bit like the country, actually. Treasurer Jim Chalmers today publicly backed Anthony Albanese to continue going down if they win the next election. And that public backing should ensure the Prime Minister enjoys anything but a Merry Christmas. Whenever your nearest political rival is publicly backing you, it's a sign you're already in trouble. A bit like the country, actually. I mean, if you weren't in trouble, there'd be no need for people to say that they back you. And if you are in trouble, well, your rivals are only backing you until they're close enough to stab you in the back, which is why Albanese's election catchphrase is all sorts of wrong.
And my government has always been focused on making Australians' lives better. The number one priority of my government is to continue providing support. My message is we have your income back.
Do you really believe Anthony Albanese has your back?
No.
Or do you feel like Anthony Albanese needs to get off your back?
Yes.
Along with Chris Bowen, Penny Wong, Andrew Giles, Tanya Plibersek, Ed Husick and Tony Burke. That's a lot of monkeys. But back to my point, do you really think Albanese believes Jim Chalmers has his back? Here's Jim Chalmers on ABC Radio earlier today.
My expectation and my hope is if we do win the election next year, that Anthony Albanese serves a full term and runs again. That's what I would expect to happen.
Tell him he's dreaming.
OK, he expects and he hopes, he might have added wishes and prays, that Albanese will be leader if they win the next election. Expect, hope, if, not exactly terms that fill you with confidence. Chalmers' unassuring reassurance came after the Age newspaper ran this headline: if Albanese wins the next election, he should celebrate, then step aside. Now, bear in mind, this isn't the evil Murdoch papers. This is the Melbourne Age. Nikki Sava wrote, and I quote, Albanese succeeded brilliantly, certainly beyond his wildest imaginings and that of his friends, to become leader, then Prime Minister. He should count his blessings, then gracefully relinquish the job. In other words...
You're fired. Get out of here. Right?
No one, not even his friends, ever thought Albanese was much of a leader, and they're still amazed he's the Prime Minister.
Mind-blowing, isn't it?
And that was the kind version. She went on to say...
Anthony Albanese is the worst
Prime Minister ever.
He's lost his mojo, his judgment has deserted him, and if he can't summon the discipline to shape up, he should ship out before the election to allow someone else to take on a rampant Peter Dutton. Ouch. That's from the friendly media. So there was Jim Chalmers on ABC Radio helping to pump up his ailing leader's mojo.
One of the things that we'll be taking to the Australian people is a sense of stability, a sense that we've got an economic plan.
Oh, my goodness. Labor is going to take a sense of stability to the Australian people. Where are they going to get that from?
Hezbollah.
Is he talking about the electricity grid? That's not exactly stable at the moment. Maybe he's talking about
Hamas. We have been working with the terrorist organisation.
Maybe he's talking about interest rates. They're pretty stable, as in immovably high. Immigration is also stable at record numbers. Government spending is stable at record highs. Forgive me, but things are terrible and we promise to keep it stable is not exactly a winning pitch. Imagine an airline pilot telling passengers as they plummet towards the ground,
Go get vaccinated.
we're going to crash, but don't worry.
The government has your back.
As we plummet to the earth, we'll be giving you a sense of stability. As well as a sense of stability, the Treasurer promised the PM would give Australians a sense that we've got an economic plan. Not a plan, a sense that they've got a plan. And then Jim Chalmers generously gave all the credit for the sense of stability and the sense of a plan to Anthony Albanese, which gives me the sense that Chalmers has the PM's back in the same way the PM has ours.
We're rolling that out in difficult times. We're helping people where we can, and that's a tribute to Anthony's leadership.
He's no leader. He absolutely disgusts me.
Our pay packets now effectively buy 4.8% less than they did almost 5 years ago.
And that's a tribute to Anthony's leadership.
Wonderful. We're rolling out a sense of a plan in difficult times and helping people, where we can. And it's all thanks to Anthony's
Insane
leadership. Very helpful, Jim Chalmers.
I certainly anticipate and expect and hope that if we win the next election, that Anthony will be around for as long as possible.
I'm planning to be in a terrorist organisation for a very long period of time. That's my style. I hope you've noticed that.
Anthony Albanese has been in the lodge 2.5 years and he's already run out of gas. Bit like the country, actually. A report out today by Frontier Economics predicted residential gas customers would face price rises of up to $290 because supply of gas is so short. That comes after yesterday's warning by Manufacturing Australia that a looming gas shortage threatens tens of thousands of jobs.
Creating the most jobs of any government in Australian history.
According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, building costs are now on average 35% higher than in 2019. And the major cause of that is high energy costs. But of course, here's the crazy thing. The gas shortage that threatens to cripple an already hobbled economy is not a gas shortage at all. It's a refusal on the part of the government to access the abundance of gas right beneath our feet. The government's decided that gas is evil, too many emissions.
Climate change is a scam.
And so we can't access any more of it. 70% of what we do access is sold overseas, leaving the domestic market hopelessly short. But instead of opening new gas fields, can't do that, emissions, we export gas overseas and then pay to import it back at a higher price than we sold it.
It's just called science and maths.
Call it Albanomics. And by the time we bring back to Australia what we've shipped out of Australia, what do you think's happened to emissions? We've created more than we otherwise would have. So it's a whole lot of pain for absolutely zero gain. If you're getting a sense that the government's plan makes no sense, then that's not the sense Jim Chalmers intended, but your senses are good. Having demonised coal, disparaged gas and discredited nuclear, here's the plan. Canberra's trial shows EVs can provide backup power to grid in blackouts and emergencies. That's right, we can power Australia by getting motorists to donate unused electricity from their Teslas. Now you know why Jim Chalmers says they have a sense of a plan, because that sure ain't an actual plan.
They didn't have a plan then, and they don't have much of a plan now. Now we have to deal with the consequences of that. We need a change of government in this country.